The indifferent rationalist epicus prestigious. Also, insightful once expressed the embodiment is to partner just with people who elevate you, whose presence delivers your best. You've most likely heard the articulation, you are the normal of the 5 individuals you invest the vast majority of your energy with. Today we will investigate this thought. According to an emotionless viewpoint, we'll address the 7 kinds of people that can block your advancement in emotionless way of thinking. Also, how to manage these difficult connections. A short delay to thank everybody for the 80,000 endorsers. Achievement, the outcomes we've accomplished with this direct in such a brief time frame. Our mind-blowing, our most memorable video was posted only 2 months prior, and today we are nearly at 100,000, assuming that conceivable I point to arrive at this achievement inside this month. So in the event that you're not yet bought in, I sympathetically request that you buy in and hit the ringer to not miss any recordings. What's more, by and by, thank you all. I would like to momentarily welcome you to visit our select channel store, the Stoa store. There you can find shirts, hoodies, mugs, knapsacks, and considerably more. The whole store has a 20% opening markdown, so take advantage. It's just for a brief time frame. Follow us on Instagram and label us utilizing one of our items. It will be an honor to impart this experience to you. If you have any inquiries or data, our group will respond to you there. Now, without further, how about we get to the video? First kind of individuals, the winner. We as a whole know that companion, relative, or partner who appears to pick apart all that, whether it's the climate, the work, or even the food at a well-known eatery. They never miss an potential chance to communicate their disappointment. You could ask, why should this worry me? I can basically disregard them. Well, that is more straightforward said than done. Reliable openness to such cynicism drainingly affects your mental prosperity. It's likened to a dribbling tap gradually draining your supply of close-to-home energy. Aloofness helps us to zero in on significant arrangements as opposed to harping on issues. For instance, envision you're teaming up on an undertaking with somebody who's a persistent grumbler. Each gathering transforms into a debilitating meeting of grievances, absent any trace of productive discourse. The effect in the camaraderie is negative. You're redirected from finding noteworthy arrangements and are probably going to turn out to be progressively baffled with the task and perhaps even life in general. So how does aloofness help us manage a winner? There are a few systems you can utilize. First, cut off your openness to this person at whatever point conceivable, on the off chance that that is unrealistic. Maybe since they are a relative or partner, then your subsequent choice is to distance yourself intellectually during their desperate clans. Consider their grumblings a passing tempest, boisterous and upsetting, however at last transitory and feeble, against the steady mountain that is your own internal serenity. Your third choice is to direct the discussion towards arrangements or talk about something else, to something more productive. To cite Marcus Aurelius, you have control over your mind, not outer occasions. Understand this. What's more, you will track down strength. This ageless, apathetic insight urges us to perseveringly safeguard our psychological harmony, guaranteeing that the antagonism of constant grumblers doesn't stray us off our apathetic way of strength and prudence. Second kind of individual, the show magnet. Envision you are exploring through life like a boat cruising on quiet waters. However, at that point you experience the whirlpool known as the show magnet. This individual appears to have an unending series of emergencies, clashes, or contention. Furthermore, similar to a whirlpool, they have the ability to upset, to maneuver you into their vortex of turmoil. You may at first be attracted to the energy of show magnets, confusing it with energy. Or on the other hand, fervor anyway. You will before long understand that being in their circle is like exploring a boat through a tempest. Debilitating and hazardous. Now what makes managing show magnets so muddled is that their emergency frequently can feel like your own. Their tumult is infectious, and you could try and find yourself entangled in clashes you had no underlying contribution with. We should give a pragmatic model. You have a companion who oftentimes fights with others in your group of friends. Today they are not addressing Maria or Joel. Your companion comes to you looking for counsel. However, you understand this cycle goes on and on forever, and out of nowhere you regard yourself as in conflict with Maria or Zhao as well. Since you attempted to mediate for this situation, you can utilize a system called intelligent tuning in. Rather than offering exhortation or taking sides, reflect their words back to them. For instance, in the event that they say, "I can't accept Maria expressed that about me," you can answer, "So you're feeling deceived by Maria's words." This procedure permits you to offer profound help without getting caught in the show. Another move toward one that could appear strange is to turn into specifically inaccessible. Aloofness reminds us to profoundly esteem our time and now and again. That implies being inaccessible for other individuals' emergencies, particularly assuming they are repetitive and unsettled. Switch off your telephone during specific hours. Make times of center where you concentrate exclusively on your work or individual advancement, and clarify that during these times you don't wish to be upset. Summarizing Seneca, valid joy is partaking in the present without restless reliance on what's in store. This can be particularly valuable when managing show magnets rather than restlessly thinking about what emergency will occur next. Center around the present second where you have control. Partake in your life and don't allow it to be disturbed by another person's theatrics. Make it a highlight. Steer your boat tranquilly, keeping away from whirlpools that compromise your excursion toward self-improvement and music. Serenity. Third kind of individual, the worrywart. Picture this: you are a craftsman painting a material. Each brushstroke adds variety, profundity, and life to your vision. And then comes the cynic. They enter your studio, take a gander at your work, and right away begin to scrutinize. Are you certain about this variety? It doesn't appear to be sensible. You realize most specialists don't succeed right. Their words, like strokes of dark paint, start to dull your lively material. It's not the common valuable analysis which can be important in. Rather, it's a persevering air of uncertainty. Also, antagonism. For instance, suppose you're eager to seek after another vocation. Way you've done your examination, conversed with experts in the field, and perhaps indeed even taken a few primer courses. When you share your energy with the cynic, they rapidly list all the motivations behind why it won't resolve. The market is too serious. Do you have the right abilities? Imagine a scenario in which you bomb rapidly. Their questions begin to feel like your own, and the certain vision you had starts to waver. Now, how to manage a cynic, particularly when they may be somebody near you. An offbeat yet powerful strategy is to request their counsel instead of simply sharing your plans or yearnings. When individuals are put in an warning job, they are more averse to assault your thoughts straightforwardly and may offer more helpful Input. Another technique includes turning the tables through a strategy called set positive conflict as opposed to retaining their pessimism. Challenge them to consider arrangements in the event that they say you won't ever be ready to switch professions at this stage. Counter with a charming viewpoint. How would you figure somebody could effectively progress professions then? This not just redirects the cynicism, yet in addition energizes a more productive type of discussion. Recollect the expressions of the emotionless thinker Epictetus. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we can tune in 2 times as much as we talk. Listening doesn't mean engrossing antagonism from everybody. It implies knowing between significant info and simple clamor. When cynics start to dark your material with their shades of question, make a stride back, listen, reflect. Furthermore, continue to paint your own existence with the colors that address you. Don't let anybody turn your energetic work of art into a dim, dead scene. 4th sort of individual, the casualty. Envision life as a chess game where every player has similar pieces. Furthermore, a similar target to checkmate the rivals. Above all else, you think in an intelligent way. Make a few forfeits and face a few challenges. Anyway, the casualty faults the board, the pieces, or even their adversary for each terrible move they make. In their eyes they are unendingly in checkmate, not on the grounds that of their decisions, but since of some outside power neutralizing them. Their story is an unending story of adversities with themselves in the job of the vulnerable hero. I can't progress in my occupation on the grounds that my chief could do without me, or I can't get in shape since I have awful hereditary qualities. Presently taking note of that is essential. Certain individuals face veritable troubles. What's more, foundational issues anyway. The person in question we are examining utilizes what is going on as a long-lasting reason declining to take any obligation regarding their activities or deficiency in that department. You might get yourself ensnared in their plot, maybe as the auxiliary person who continually needs to protect them. Suppose you've spent innumerable hours paying attention to a companion fault their various fizzled connections totally on their ex-accomplices. This not just consumes your time, yet can inconspicuously urge you to take on a comparable casualty mindset in your own life. So what's your move while managing with a casualty? It very well might entice to turn into their rescuer, offering unending counsel and consistent reassurance. Anyway, the Stoics would prompt mindfulness against this. They would suggest laying out a firm limit to safeguard your own psychological state. You could utilize a method known as humane separation. Show compassion, also consideration, yet don't attempt to save them from circumstances they need to confront on their own proposition. A listening ear, yet refrain from turning into their interminable issue solver. Marcus Aurelius once said the best retribution is to be not normal for the person who committed the unfairness, assuming that you think of yourself as drawn into the casualty's account. Oppose the inclination to become one yourself. Assume command of your own board. Take your actions and recall that in the chess round of life, being never-endingly in checkmate is frequently a decision, not a predetermination. Push your pieces ahead, make vital penances when essential, and play not really for retribution or pity but rather for development and insight. 5th sort of individual, the poisonous positive thinker. You know this individual, generally oozing daylight, rainbows, and unending emoticons. They are the ones who tell you to simply be cheerful while you're going through a difficult stretch, excusing your sentiments. What's more, encounters with a flood of splendid, positive thinking. Envision your life as a nursery. There are blossoms, however there are too weeds and irritations. Anyway, the poisonous positive thinker demands disregarding anything. In any case, a blossoming rose got aphids on your leaves. Simply center around the blossoms. Don't give antagonism access to your nursery. They would agree while it might appear elevating. This approach can cause you to feel nullified and disengaged from reality. Guess you're going through a troublesome separation, feeling miserable, befuddled. Also, looking for some profound equilibrium. The harmful confident person's recommendation is there are a lot of fish in the ocean. Simply grin and be cheerful. This unreasonable inspiration ignores the intricacies of human feelings and the real factors of life's challenges. How would you develop your garden without letting the harmful, hopeful people stomp on it with their unpredictable emphasis on just great flows? One technique is to draw in them in a conversation that embraces both light, furthermore, shadow in the event that they express look on the splendid side. Essentially, you have your well-being. You can answer, yes, I'm thankful for my well-being, but on the other hand it's acceptable for me to have an upset outlook on this particular issue. Both can coincide. You can likewise utilize what therapists call close-to-home granularity, the capacity to feel and separate a extensive variety of feelings, both good and negative, when the harmful hopeful person inclinations you to simply be blissful. Pause for a minute to recognize and mark your nuanced sentiments. I'm feeling a piece melancholic today in view of X, and that is okay. Can be a freeing proclamation to reference emotionless reasoning. Seneca once said genuine satisfaction is to partake in the present without restless reliance on the future. Note the equilibrium, getting it. Our obligations which are not charming all the time. Furthermore, partaking in the present. The emotionless approach isn't tied in with zeroing in exclusively on the positive or the negative. It's about embracing life's intricacy with equanimity. So the following time the harmful confident person tosses confetti on your painstakingly developed nursery, make a stride back. Recall that a nursery needs both sun and downpour to prosper. Embrace your full close-to-home range and proceed sustaining your nursery with the extravagance. What's more, intricacy it merits. Sixth kind of individual, the controller. Envision your life as a film script. You are the principal character and have a thought of how your story ought to unfurl, where the unexpected developments are, who your partners and guides are, and how your last venture will be. Enter the controller, the dull maker who unpretentiously reworks your content without you seeing until the day you understand your plot has gone off course. The controller is gifted in the specialty of close-to-home or mental moves. They can utilize praises, profound control, or even trickery to guide you toward a path that benefits them. You might have a companion who continuously figures out how to make you pay for supper, expressing something like, I've been going through an intense month. Furthermore, you are fruitful to the point that it wouldn't make a big deal about a distinction to you, yet it would light up my day. Over the long run you understand that your liberality is being exploited. However, it is awkward to defy them, since they've outlined it out of consideration for a destitute companion. Managing a controller can be confounded. One strategy to kill their strategies is what a few specialists call misting. This method includes concurring with any insights in the controller's articulations. In any case, declining to be influenced by profound compulsion on the off chance that they say you are effective. What's more, ought to pay for supper. You could Answer: you are correct that I have been getting along nicely, yet we should part the bill as we for the most part do. Another methodology is to set clear limits and authorize them if the controller believes you should loan them cash. Or then again resolve to errands you're not okay with. Figure out how to say no decisively. Keep your tone quiet and your words clear. I can't loan you cash yet. I'm here to offer basic reassurance. Sets a limit while keeping up with the kinship, drawing motivation from indifferent reasoning. Epictetus cautioned us that we can't pick our outer conditions, yet we can continuously pick how we answer them. The controller flourishes with your anticipated responses. Controlling your generosity, responsibility, or craving for endorsement by deciding to answer in an unexpected way. You are assuming back command over your script. So in the event that you experience a controller in your life, recollect that you are the one holding the pen. Your plot is yours to compose, and keeping in mind that the cast might incorporate different characters. The excursion of the hero. Your process ought to continuously be directed by your own qualities and choices. Guarantee your content and don't allow anybody to control the account of your life. 7 Sort of individual. The time vampire. Envision your everyday daily schedule as a painstakingly created ensemble where each instrument addresses an errand or responsibility, and when played together they make an amicable equilibrium. However, at that point the time vampire joins, blocking out and suffocating your tune, turning your wonderful structure into a conflicting clamor. The time vampire isn't essentially malignant. Truth be told, they can appear to be very harmless. It very well may be a partner who continually hinders you with paltry inquiries, transforming your useful day into a series of divided minutes. Or it could be a companion who welcomes you to various get-togethers you care very little about, causing you to feel committed to join in and depleting your time and energy. These associations could appear irrelevant right now, however the aggregate impact can be profoundly troublesome. So how would you safeguard your ensemble from being destroyed by a period vampire? A successful technique is the Pomodoro strategy, a using time effectively strategy that includes breaking your work into stretches, customarily 25 minutes long, isolated by brief breaks during these spans. Clarify that you try not to wish to be upset. This sets a limit that safeguards your most useful minutes from being squandered if you end up managing a social time vampire. Recollect that maxim: no is not just adequate, it's fundamental for your prosperity, as opposed to offering elaborate pardons. A basic thank you for the greeting, however I can't make it, is adequate. Declining a greeting is not a dismissal of the individual, it's an insistence of your own requirements and needs. In the expressions of Seneca, a admirably carried out life is long sufficient. Aloofness instructs us that time is quite possibly of our most valuable assets, one that should be distributed admirably. It's the material on which we paint the picture of our lives. Also, we should be profoundly specific about who and what merits a stroke of our brush in the terrific organization of your life. Guarantee that each note, each instrument, each song is lined up with your higher reason. Don't permit the uproarious interruption of a period vampire to toss your ensemble into tumult. Hold the mallet solidly and direct your life with reason, guaranteeing that every second is a nicely done note in your amicable magnum opus. As we arrive at the resolution of the present investigation of characters that can redirect our way towards apathetic versatility and intelligence, we should not neglect that mindfulness is key. It's not difficult to Perceive these sorts in others, yet the most testing and edifying errand is to search inside are you accidentally assuming one of these parts in somebody else's life. Recall apathy isn't pretty much exploring the world, it's additionally about understanding and getting to the next level ourselves, assuming the present conversation has started an acknowledgement, a revelation, or indeed, even only a tad of reflection. I'd love to hear from you in the remarks segment. Compose your considerations, share your encounters, and we should begin a discourse that enhances us all. Don't botch the opportunity to dominate your feelings. Get the Self-Information digital book. Presently click the connection in the first stuck remark and open your valid potential, and that is totally supportive of today. However, I ask that you don't leave this video just. However, pay attention to everything that I need to say to you. Beneath you'll track down the connection to our channel's elite store and other joins that you ought to look at as well. Remember to remark dare me so I can see that you made it this far. Recall that I peruse every one of the remarks and I'll see you remarking. Stay on the screen to observe the following video that will show up here. It's truly worth the effort and I ensure you'll like it, and for your consideration my ardent thanks. This was my commitment. May everybody be with the Maker.